Hello, my friends. I was inspired to record my typical kind of routine with my own personal I am practice. And so this is more of a formal sit down as I meditate in this way. But in this same way, I'll do this multiple times a day as the kind of, you know, 10-second to 1 minute to a few minute kind of practice of just coming back into alignment with this pure presence, this pure being of I am. So just having my morning coffee, and I thought it'd be nice to do a bit of a guided meditation so that you can, if you don't already have your own direct sense of this, that you can come into the way that I normally approach it. So, with that being said, there will be a couple of different stages to this. The first, I will kind of go through a bit of a mental preparation, a kind of mental attunement, so that you can understand the subtleties of what I'm doing. And then it's going to become much more subtle and visceral and tangible and experiential as a felt sense. So that's the ultimate goal of this practice, is that it goes deep into the tangible experiential feeling of I am, of being. Okay? So, without further ado, just get comfortable, whether you're sitting or whether you're even lying down, whatever most comfortable, relaxed position you can find, as long as you don't fall asleep. And of course, it's okay if you fall asleep, but ideally, you are awake and aware, but not overly alert or vigilant, but a sort of vibrant, vital focus, sort of loosely held, so to speak. So, take a moment, get comfortable, and let's begin. So the first step is to remember that you are not what you perceive. And so it's even helpful to just set the intention that I usually say something to the effect of, I don't want anything out of this practice. I'm not expecting this to go anywhere. I am just surrendering to the truth of who I am. The only desire I have is to know the truth of what I am. And that as a declaration kind of sets energetically everything into motion. So just attune yourself to that intention. And then just come into this moment as a secondary intention. Like imagine there's no past, no future, there's no time as a concept. There's just here and now. You've just arrived here and now. You are just here. Now, drop the concept entirely of time. Just let go of that construct. And notice how immediate the experience of presence here is. Now, it may be fleeting. You may be getting lost in your mind again or distracted by certain things, but that's okay, because all of this is going to be utilized to work backwards and beyond to get to that felt sense of I am. So just notice everything that's happening, your thoughts, your feelings, physical sensations, appearances, sounds, all of the senses. Just notice them as they arise and pass. You don't need to bring them up. You don't need to go looking for them. Just allow them. And notice the arising and passing of all of these senses, all of these perceptions. Notice the coming and going of thoughts. Notice the arising and passing of the sound of my voice. Notice the moment when any of these arises. And see if you can also notice the moment they pass. And no matter what the arising and passing, what is it that's aware of the arising and passing? What is it that doesn't arise or pass, that knows all of these changing perceptions? Who or what knows all that you're aware of? What is that awareness itself? So now start to turn your attention back onto awareness. And you don't need the mind for this. This is a direct experience. It's not an idea, it's not a concept. You just turn around, so to speak, and look at what's looking. And this is what's meant by I am. Because often we say, I am Jamie. I am in Vietnam. I am human. I am this age. I am this gender. I am all of these qualities and characteristics and attributes. But what is the I am before any of those definitions? What is that most essential quality that is I am? As an idea, it is existence itself. It is being. It is awareness. But as a direct experience, it is a kind of feeling. When you now start to dismiss all of the answers that come to you when you say, who am I? I'm not my name. I'm not my age. I'm not this body. I'm not my mind. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my emotions. I'm not the senses or the sounds. I'm not anything that I can perceive. And yet, when I allow all of those to come and go, I am. In the midst of all the changing, there is a point that is changeless, so to speak. It's not really a point, not really a place. It's a kind of space. What is that most essential being? This is where we start to go a little more subtle. Because the mind will attach and identify with characteristics and attributes and terms and definitions, concepts. But when we go more subtle, now we start to navigate through all of the more familiar feelings that you attribute yourself as. So the feeling of the body, right? And as you feel into the body, for example, where are you located? Often we think that we're located in the mind. Sometimes we think we're located in the heart or maybe the gut. Oftentimes we have a particular point in the body that's kind of a root contraction, so to speak, or a point of focus that we are often feeling as a kind of familiar sense of our body. Maybe it's a bit of a tightness in your chest or in your belly. Maybe it's a kind of a tightness in your throat or tightness in your jaw. These are all very familiar sensations, but what happens when you relax and even just allow them to be there, and you ask, who am I? Who and what is aware of all of these sensations of the body? And as you recognize that beingness that is aware of all of the mental concepts, all the arising and passing of the phenomena and senses and perceptions, and all of the feelings in the body, start to hone in on the being, the pure being. And it's right there, prior to everything that you're doing. Even as I just took a sip of the coffee, can be aware of the being that is aware of the doing, of the drinking, of the swallowing, of the sensations of the cold coffee moving down my throat into my stomach. But behind that sensory experience is the being. So this is, again, turning awareness back onto awareness itself. Cultivating that consciousness of being. Start to notice more of the subtleties, the nuances, the flavors, the feelings of that being. Continuing to release the grip on all of the arising and passing perceptions and sensations, and continually turning back around, so to speak, to see that pure light of being. Begin to amp it up. Turn up the brightness, so to speak. Make it so that the light of your being that you're aware of becomes brighter and brighter, more brighter than anything else that is trying to get your attention. So that it's almost a blinding light that you can't even turn away from. The being, the I am, is becoming so bright that it completely outshines any doing, any happening. Even if there is still doing or happening going on, the being is so bright, vivid, vibrant, that it has your full attention. You're aware that you're aware. That consciousness of being is consuming you. And in that light of your awareness, start to notice the bliss, the natural bliss. You don't need to go looking for it or trying to artificially fabricating it. It's right there in the pure recognition of your existence. Just like you when you were a child. just the pure joy of being. See how much more familiar you can get with that pure sense, that pure feeling of just being. Not being this, not being that, not being whatever quality or concept or definition or label, just pure being. And continuing to let go of any of those ideas that are coming back online. Like, oh yeah, I'm here, and oh yeah, I'm this, and oh yeah, I'm... Just let it go. Continue to, in a way, radically just drop any of the conditions of your being. And just rest, simply rest in the pure natural state of your true self. The timeless, limitless, boundless, formless being. And the more you do this, the more subtly you will recognize that essential sense of I am. And the further into this practice you go, the more essential that feeling will be. The more to the essence of that feeling you will get. It is a kind of purifying, a distillation, a constant distilling, going beyond anything that the mind or the senses will throw up as a sort of image, as a sort of illusion, as a kind of symbol for what you're being, for who you're being, for what you are. All of which cannot be what you are for the very fact that you are aware of it. If you are aware of it, then it is an object of your awareness. What is that pure subject? What is that most essential feeling that gives rise to everything in your experience, including everything that you call yourself, that you attribute to yourself? And the more you hone in on this pure essential distillation of your being, I am, pure I am, then the more these 10-second or 1-minute practices multiple times a day become incredibly potent, to the point where you can simply set the intention, I'm here, no past, no future, I am. And in a few seconds, this feeling becomes prominent, becomes all prevalent, instantaneously. And to fall back into this, to rest into this constantly and consistently throughout the day, is that hard reset of the mind and that complete alignment with your true self, which gives rise to inspiration, intelligence, intuition in the purest form that there is for you. For to be in constant alignment with I am is to have a direct connection to the infinite intelligence of life itself, of the Creator, of God. Your most essential sense of being is God.